Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Nick here, and welcome to my review of Doctor Who Series 2, Episodes 12 and 13, Army of Ghosts and Doomsday. Okay, this one... bring tissues. This one is... this is a big one. This is the Series 2 finale. The first finale for the 10th Doctor of his first series, and it sees a big clash between two major enemies of Doctor Who, two of the greatest villains of the show, as well as also the departure of companion Rose Tyler, played by Billie Piper. So the plot of Army of Ghosts Doomsday is the Doctor and Rose return home to visit Jackie. However, it turns out that there are ghosts being seeped into Earth. So the Doctor, Rose, and Jackie go to investigate the Torchwood Institute, which are the people responsible for allowing the ghosts to come into our world from time to time. However, it turns out that these ghosts are in fact Cybermen from the parallel universe, from Rise of the Cybermen, the Age of Steel, and they're trying to find a way they're finding a way into our universe, and they've managed to cross the void, or the bridge, which is the space between universes, and they managed to cross it, and now they're invading our world. The parallel universe Cybermen have taken over, and yeah, there's very little anyone can do about it. It is a victory. However, at the same time, there's this mysterious spear that Torchwood have, and it's starting to open, and Mickey Smith is back. Presumably he followed the Cybermen, which is confirmed in Doomsday, but as far as Army of Ghosts are concerned, he followed the Cybermen when they crossed the dimensions. And at the very close of the story, the Cyber Leader reveals that the Cybermen followed the Void ship to cross universes, and the Void ship opens, and this was an epic cliffhanger. This was the moment where the entire country got shocked. I was going to say shell-shocked, but I don't know if that's right. No, got a massive shock. This twist was probably even bigger than the one at the end of Bad Wolf. Partly because, well, both Boomtown and Fearhurst sort of spoil it in the next time trailers, but this one's a little less spoilery. Because what we get are 4 Daleks revealed from coming out of the spear. This was amazing. The reveal that 4 Daleks are also here, as well as the Cybermen. And as not to mention, because we thought the Daleks were all destroyed at the end of the last series, but no, 4 more survived. And they've got this thing known as the Genesis Ark, which has even more Daleks. It's a Time Lord Dalek prison ship, the prison ship from the Time Lords for keeping Dalek prisoners. And the Cult of Skaro, the 4 Daleks who come out of the Void Spear, hope to release the Daleks above Earth. However, they discover that the Cybermen are already invading. So when the Daleks turn down a alliance offer from the Cybermen, a Dalek cyber war breaks out as they are fighting against each other, and the Doctor and the humans have to survive. This leads the Doctor and the humans to fight for their own lives, to try and stop the Daleks and the Cybermen, and to close the void before any more harm can be done to both worlds. However, he may have to say goodbye to Rose Tyler, as she will need to go to a parallel universe to be safe. So, that's basically the plot of Army of Ghosts Doomsday. This is a fantastic story. This is really, really good. This is a great finale. The setup in episode 12 is amazing, with the ghosts, Torchwood, getting to know a bit more about Torchwood. Series 2's arc of Torchwood is brought to a head here, where as the location for the great Dalek Cyberman battle, the Battle of Canary Wharf, as it becomes. And yeah, it is epic. It's great to explore Torchwood. It's great to understand these people. Yvonne Hartman, great character. Yeah, she's a slightly bit of a prick, but at the same time, she's not a villain, so that's pretty cool. And but at the same time, she's not a villain, and it's interesting to have all the series arc tied up of the series from going on from Tooth and Claw. Another reason why that one should have been the series opener, not New Earth. But oh well. But yeah, well, I say another, it's the same reason. But yeah, some great story arcs here and some great stuff going along, and the idea of the ghosts coming through and everyone just well, after a while, it eventually becomes natural, becomes a regular thing. It's a few months after Love and Monsters, presumably. And now everyone is settled in. It's funny that the Doctor can even pick up news channels from France, India, and Japan as he's flicking through channels and looking in about ghosts. There is this one bit where this guy goes, "Well, no one needs me anymore," where the Doctor accidentally stumbles across that. It's a bit of a strange thing, but then again, I guess it's to show not all the channels are talking about ghosts. But yeah, it's a bit oddly placed. But anyway, the whole stuff with Torchwood, whole stuff with the spear, whole stuff back on Earth, really great stuff. And the Cyberman plan, brilliant. It's also great to see Mickey back, and I think this episode does a really great job in telling the first half of the story really well, the setup, but doing it in a really good way. And we tie up some series arcs, storylines here, whilst also preparing us for what's coming up in the next episode. And the Cybermen's reveal, well, the Cybermen weren't kept as a surprise. We knew they were coming thanks to the Next Time trailer, but the story doesn't try to hide them. They pretty much, they do come as a surprise towards the end to the characters, but the audience know they're coming. Even if you haven't seen the Next Time trailer, you know they're coming thanks to the fact that they appear not too far into the episode. We start seeing the advanced guard, as the Doctor put them, around areas of inside Canary Wharf, inside Torchwood Tower. And yeah, it's really good stuff there. I also like how they cut through the plastic Tomb of the Cybermen Invasion Earthshock style. Wish we got that with Ascension of the Cybermen, which recently aired. But yeah, this would have been... But yeah, this was a great bit and some really great stuff with the Cybermen. Had this been just a Cyberman takeover story, series finale, it would have been brilliant anyway. And the ending where they take over, brilliantly done. Absolutely brilliant. But there's a cherry on top of the cake. And that's the cliffhanger. I've already gushed about it, but that cliffhanger was just amazing. The Daleks do look a bit too CG, but, you know, it makes a bit of sense. The Genesis arc also doesn't quite appear in the CG bits, but I can forgive that. Now on to the episode everybody loves, or sort of loves, Doomsday. Now, Doomsday sees the Daleks, as I mentioned, try to open the Genesis arc, and they keep Rose Tyler and Mickey Smith alive because they've travelled in time, and they can be used to open the arc, like how Rose was able to revive Metaltron, the Metaltron Dalek, in Dalek. We also have a black Dalek, Dalek Sec, the leader. The fellow Daleks who are still bronze are Daleks Faye, Jast, and Khan. These Daleks will return again next series, and as we see at the end, Dalek Sec escapes, as does the rest of the Cult of Skaro in dialogue in the next appearance they're in. But the episode is really great, seeing them having to open the Genesis arc and then having to fight off against the Cybermen and the Doctor. And yeah, this is really great stuff. The Dalek dialogue, still brilliant. I'm loving the sassy remarks the Daleks give to the Cybermen. Apparently this is not a new thing. They actually were a bit sassy in the 60s. A bit sassy and sarcastic. In fact, The Chase is a very good example of that. And before anyone says anything, no, the Chase did not make the Daleks a joke. They made them funny, but not a joke. Destiny of the Daleks made them a joke. There's a difference. As in, the Chase was trying to make them funny, but Destiny of the Daleks made them look like a joke. However, Russell T Davies has done Russell T Davies does anything but make the Daleks a joke. And he makes the Daleks a serious threat. If you don't believe me, go and watch the Series 1 Dalek stories again, especially Parting of the Ways. Okay, Rob Shearman wrote Daleks, so him and Russell T Davies made the Daleks a serious threat again. As would Helen Rayner in Series 3, maybe? Certainly more than Stephen Moffat would. But yeah, the Daleks are amazing in this story, loving them, and I really enjoy each personality each Dalek has. Well, I say personality, well, these ones have a bit more personality than some of the other Daleks, but it's really enjoyable. It's not really a separate personality for each one, but they're around the same personality as each other, but it's more so than normal Daleks, which is really interesting to occasionally have a more personality Dalek. Not that they're devoid of personality most of the time, but still really, really interesting. Also got some really great stuff with the humans, as humans from the Parallel Earth come to try and help stop the Cybermen to protect their world, with Pete Tyler from the Parallel Universe and Jake Simmons. And we get some really great human character interactions throughout this story, especially when Parallel Pete meets our Earth's Jackie. That was a really great scene. Some really great stuff there. And yeah, eventually the Daleks were able to open the Genesis Ark thanks to Mickey touching the Ark. If this was Chris Eccleston, he probably would have called him Mickey the Idiot, but David Tennant pretty much thanks him for it, because otherwise the Daleks would have to blow up the sun in order to forcefully open the Ark. Which is just also, I don't think Jackie would be as happy to see the Doctor back at the start of Army of Ghosts if it was Christopher Eccleston. I think she likes David Tennant's Doctor more. On the other hand, Eccleston's Doctor, Jackie and Mickey, may be on more friendlier terms after the Christmas invasion. Anyway, maybe. But anyway, that's a video for Thomas Hayden James to make on the Universal's channel later this month, possibly, if he's going to do that. But yeah. Some great character interactions, and the Doctor's plan to suck the Daleks and Cybermen into the void. Brilliant idea. He's pretty much sending the Daleks and the Cybermen to hell, basically, as it sometimes the void is known as hell. The Eternals get a reference here. They call it the Howling. Nice nod to the Eternals. They get mentioned again in the Infinite Quest, as do the giant vampires, I believe. And I'll talk about that story midway through Series 3. But yeah, some great stuff, but it does mean everyone has to go to the other parallel universe in order to be safe from the void being open on our universe's side, sucking the Daleks and Cybermen in, and the Doctor holding onto the clamps in order not to be sucked in. However, Rose returned back to this Earth, much to the annoyance of the Doctor and Jackie, and because she's made up her mind never to leave the Doctor. We've come this far in their relationship that not only will she continue to travel forever, but she's pretty much fallen in love with the 10th Doctor and decided to stay with him forever. But yeah, this does cause consequences, as once they're up and running with the Daleks and the Cybermen sucking through, mainly the Daleks, because the Cybermen for some reason just up and leave. Yeah, this story is a little one-sided in the Daleks' favour in terms of the war. The Cybermen are dispatched very easily by Daleks, and no Dalek, not even the ones out in the sky, get easily taken down. Also, the Cybermen are sucked into the void really quickly. It's like the episode wanted to build up the Cybermen in the first episode of the story, but in the second episode, after getting the Daleks introduced, it was more concerned in the Daleks' favour of showing off. It was more focused on doing a Dalek story than a Cyberman one. And after some really great battle scenes, although there could have been a bit more, it just decided to get rid of the Cyberman. The last Cyberman dialogue from the episode is the second Cyber leader, following the first one being killed by Jake Simmons, instructing fellow Cybermen that they will return to the home world, so back to Parallel Earth. They're retreating from the Daleks, and a Cyber converted Yvonne Hartman. Oh yeah, she got turned into a Cyberman, by the way. She comes to destroy these Cybermen, as there's still a little piece of herself inside that cyber suit, and that side of her makes her resist the other Cybermen and fight back, presumably. Not sure what happened to her Cyberman or any Cyberman that was created on this Earth, because they wouldn't be sucked into the void, because the void technology would not suck them in, unless they were sucked in because of the upgrade chamber technology devices and the cyber suits and stuff. Maybe they all came from the parallel universe, so that might get them sucked in. On the other hand, maybe Yvonne went around and killed all the remaining Earth converted our Earth converted Cybermen before destroying herself, or the army, or someone else did. The only exception is Yanto's girlfriend, as seen in the Torchwood episode Cyberwoman, which we will get to when I do Torchwood reviews at a later point. But yeah, I'm not exactly sure, besides Yanto's girlfriend, what happened to the Cybermen upgraded on Earth, what happened to all of them. So, yeah, that's a bit strange, but oh well. But anyway, the Doctor and Rose are hanging on to life as the Daleks fly through into the void until suddenly something goes wrong on the lever on Rose's side, and she has to sort it out. However, now she's clinging on to her life, and there's some shots around here that don't quite match up continuity-wise. Some shots have her leaning forward, grabbing the thing. Some of them have her twisted on her side, and they cut and forth between the two, and it doesn't make a lot of sense in terms of continuity editing. Sorry, maybe someone should have reshot those close-ups a little bit better. Continuity editors, this is your job. You should have said something about maybe having some reshoots of the close-ups, perhaps, or whoever was doing the storyboards. Maybe they should have focused it a little bit better. Still, great moments where we see Rose falling into the void, which looks like she's about to die, just as the story was pretty much bigging it up to be. And then Pete Tyler comes and quickly rescues her. It must be enough time for him to stabilize on Earth. Stabilize, grab Rose, and then get out of there before he gets sucked into the void as well. And he's taken back to parallel Earth. And then the void closes, and that means they're trapped. Rose is trapped on the other side in parallel Earth, as is Jackie and Mickey. And the Doctor is on his own again. The last 10 minutes of the story pretty much see the Doctor attempting to say goodbye to Rose through one last gap where we can project an image to parallel world to say goodbye. And when I was younger, I think I did cry at the end with the goodbye scene. I don't know whether it was the Love and Monsters reveal or about Elton's mum, or this bit where I first cried at a Doctor Who. It might have been Love and Monsters. If not, it was this. I'd only seen the characters for 7 weeks, and yet it was still sad to see. Imagine how it must be for audiences who do like or love these characters, who've been watching since 2005, or at the very least the start of Series 2 or the Christmas Invasion. This must have been heartbreaking for them. And yeah, but I think it does a brilliant job in the writing, the acting, the direction, editing. Brilliant job in this final scene. No wonder it won, nominated for awards. Going to the Fireplace technically won. Though, I think was it the BAFTA? It was a television award, but this one's a very worthy nomination. And yeah, the scene's just really great. I know some people may not like Rose Tyler and won't care for this scene or this episode, or the whole bigging it up to be. But it's like with the Ninth Doctor's regeneration at the end of the Parting of the Ways. You're either going to be emotional about it because you cared about the characters, or you're not going to really care that much. But as for me, I think this is a great final scene, and a good way for Rose to go. I mean, yeah, Rose isn't the best character. I've noticed throughout series 1 and 2, she's not very nice, but I think she's grown a little bit more. I would say she's actually grown more in Series 2 than Series 1. I think she's slightly better. I think it's the love story between her and the Doctor that's probably what's puts other people off. The ones that aren't in love with these two characters, the thing that puts them off the character or the series is the romance stuff. But even then, I don't think that's as much as I think some people make it out to be. Though, definitely there, I'm not denying that. Especially in this story. But I think this is a great ending to that said story. I think it's a great way to wrap this whole up, and works really well in terms of the emotions. And yeah, very effective ending. And I think this is also the first time we've actually seen the Doctor cry. As far as I'm aware, this is the first on-screen appearance, the first time the Doctor has cried on screen. I don't think there's any other time the Doctor has actually cried in the TV series. No, as in actual crying tears. I think this is the first time. I don't think it'll be the last, but it's certainly the first time. And yeah, really great way to end the episode, and just wow, just a great 2-part story. It is slightly ruined by, I do have to say, the very final bit of the episode when the Doctor, after walking around the console, he then looks up and sees this mysterious bride in his TARDIS, and it's revealed to be Catherine Tate. And he's like, what? And she's having a go at him for where she is. This, of course, leads into the next episode, The Runaway Bride, which will be at Christmas, the 2006 Christmas special. So this is tying into that episode. But it does slightly ruin a emotional moment. It's not so bad in Last of the Time Lords when the Doctor said goodbye to Martha. It's not as sad as that. It's a goodbye, and also the fact that the Master's ring has been stolen by this mysterious woman with red nails. We find out who that is in the end of time, by the way. And then also after the events of the Minnesota time crash, the spaceship Titanic, the spaceship one from Voyage of the Damned, crashes through the TARDIS at the end of that story. But I think that one's done slightly better. I think this one interrupts a more emotional moment more than the Voyage of the Damned tie-in at the end of Last of the Time Lords. And thankfully one from the end of Journey's End for the Next Doctor was cut, both for the fact that it would have disrupted an even more emotional moment at the end of that story, and the fact that it didn't really, in the context of the next episode, doesn't actually tie in that well. Unless that was rewritten because of that. But it's still a really good deleted scene anyway. And also, Last Christmas has a tie-in at the end of Death in Heaven, which, well, it doesn't really interrupt an emotional moment, but it kind of interrupts the credits, which is that's a bit of an odd thing. And also, yesterday, at time recording, yesterday was the broadcast of The Timeless Children, and it seems that there was a massive cliffhanger at the end of that story that ties into the upcoming Christmas, New Year festive special at the end of the year, start of next year. It does feel like it was a bit added on at the end, but hopefully it will be resolved well enough. But I think just certainly for this one, for Doomsday Runaway Bride connection, it was a little. We just had this really great emotional moment. We just said goodbye to the first companion of the revived series, a companion that was very popular with the fans both back then and still is. With a Doctor pairing that is also that is very popular. I mean, later on it became more 50-50, but back then it was probably the most popular Doctor companion pairing, that or the Fourth Doctor Sarah Jane one. But certainly back then it was definitely one of the most popular Doctor companion pairings, and I think quite a few Doctor companion pairings from both classics and later new series stories and series have also become quite popular, but this one certainly was one of the most popular and still remains so. And we abruptly end this story so we can have a funny gag to connect into the next episode. Okay, which, by the way, this broadcast at the start of July, so audiences would have to wait nearly 6 months till the next episode. It's better than 9 months like what we got now, or almost 10 actually, but still. But yeah, it is a little bit abrupt. On the whole, Army of Ghosts and Doomsday is a brilliant series finale, a brilliant way to wrap up the Torchwood story arc across the series, a brilliant way to wrap up the 10th Doctor Rose dynamic story arc as well. Dynamic and romance as well, to be honest. Not really worried about the romantic stuff, but as a dynamic duo, it's a great way to wrap it up, and I think it does it really well. Fantastic Cybermen versus Dalek fight, although I think there should have been a bit more of it, and I think they treated the Cybermen really well to start with, and then they kind of abandoned them a little bit in favour of the Daleks. But that being said, the Daleks are on top form once again. Like I said, Russell T Davies, he knows how to write the Daleks. He, along with Helen Rayner and Robert Sherman and the rest of the crew in his era, just pulled the Daleks off spectacularly for 4 years, 5 if you count Waters of Mars. As opposed to what happens in the Stephen Moffat era, where they kind of start going downhill bit by bit, before Chris Chibnall has to come in and sort it out. Well, he does in Resolution anyway. We'll find out how he does it a second time round with Revolution of the Daleks, coming Christmas 2020, New Year 2021, round that time. Hopefully Christmas, but if not, has to be New Year. Don't put it on any other day besides Christmas Day or New Year's Day. But yeah, hoping that goes down well. But that's Series 12 into Series 13. This is Series 2's finale, going into Series 3 next time. So yeah, that's 10 seasons away. But as I was saying, Russell T Davies, fantastic job with the Daleks. And I think he does a good job with the Cybermen. Not everyone's so keen on his take on the Cybermen, but I think he did a good job. And I think certainly in part 1 of this story, they're better done than in the second half, because the focus then moves onto the Daleks, or onto the Doctor and humans trying to survive, although they're done really well as well in the first half. Overall, Army of Ghosts Doomsday is a great series finale. It's not as good as Series 1's. Series 1's is one of the best stories of all time, the series finale from that one. That was just awesome. But this one is also really, really, really good. This is not one of the best stories of Series 2, but it's actually in the lower half of the ranking. But it's probably the weakest of the really, really good stories, the really great ones. I will be giving Army of Ghosts and Doomsday a 9 out of 10. Yeah, this is a really great story. Really enjoyed it. It's probably the weakest of the 9 or 10 out of 10 stories of this series, but it's still very high in my opinion, at least for this series is concerned, as far as this series is concerned. And Series 2, after rewatching it, I really enjoyed Series 2 a lot more than I thought I would, or thought I had beforehand, outside of the fact that it was first my first series, and second of all, in my main era of Doctor Who growing up when I was between the ages of 7 and 10, 2009 to 2010. Yeah, 7 to 10, from May 2006 to January 2010. Would have been 11 during Series 5's airing. And then, so the Moffat era was my main era for me being 10 to 18. And then Chris Chibnall from 18 onward, 18 years old onwards. This series is still quite special for me because it was my first series, half series anyway. And then between the end of this and the start of Runaway Bride, I managed to catch up on Series 1 and the first half of Series 2, and Series 3 would be my first full series, but I still think this is a really great series. I did have it a bit lower down in opinion. It's currently sixth favourite New Who series, but it might actually go up a little in opinion, depending on how series 3, 4, 5, and 10 go down in rewatches. Those are 4 of the other 5 top 6 series of the new series for me. The other one is Series 1, of course. Series 12 just misses out on being top 6, but I think it would be 7th. By the way, so yeah, sorry Series 12, but I think you just missed out on the top 6 spot. But I still love you more than Series 6, 7, 8, 9, and 11. 11 would then be next. But I'll do a proper new series ranking after finishing the marathon. By then, 13 might even be out. Well, that'll be awesome next year, so maybe it'll be just before Series 13, or I'll delay it until afterwards, depending on how far we get to. Anyway, that's it from me. Thank you for watching. Next time will be the Series 2 ranking, and then we'll be starting the Series 3 reviews with the 2006 Christmas special, The Runaway Bride. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye. Don't forget to click below to subscribe to the official Nicholas Payne Retro YouTube channel. Hello ladies and gentlemen, Nick here, and welcome to my review of... Sorry again. Bloody hell. Stop it. Right, start again. Hello ladies and gentlemen, Nick here, and welcome to my review of Doctor Who Series 12, Episode 13, Army of Ghosts and Doomsday. Did I say Series 12? Right, start again, and this time... Okay, 3, 2, 1. Hello ladies and gentlemen. At least Aliens of London had some sort of context to what we were seeing. But yeah, I think it'd be really great, really enjoyable, and the setup at the end, and the whole. This was a big, epic story. This one, with this episode anyway. We also have a these Daleks will return again in another series. But yeah, this is really great. But yeah, and if you don't believe me, go and watch the Series 1 Dalek stories again. Okay, yeah, Robert Sherman wrote Dalek, but with Russell T Davies, they made the Daleks. But him, okay, humans from the parallel Earth come to help out, perhaps regenerating was the best thing for Eccleston. Perhaps regenerating was the best thing for the Doctor in order for Jackie and Mickey to like him more. And Rose comes to think of it. But I think maybe, on the other hand, maybe Eccleston could have gone on a bit more on friendly terms with them both if he did another series. His Doctor. And on the other hand, maybe Eccleston's Doctor could have been a bit more friendly. Or on the other hand, they might have been more friendly with Eccleston's Doctor. And I'll talk about that one midway through Series 3. The last line the Cybermen have, following the first one's destruction, being killed, and that continue, and that's it. That sucked them in because of the fact that they would turn into Cybermen. But this one was definitely very, very. But this one was a very good nomination, and yeah, this one's just. We find out who that is in the end of it. And also it's also, but I think this one is more than Titanic's one, the Titanic one at the end of last. No, it's actually also quite controversial as well. It's actually it's a bit what's the term? I mean, now seasons have grown more into the have also been more noted, but this one's still, and the ending of that is a bit of an abrupt end, but still it's better than 9 months. But it's better than 9 months, but still, hopefully either one or but yeah, fantastic series finale, and but yeah, as all onto the Doctor Rose human relationships. This is brilliant. It's not one of the best episodes of Series 2. It's around the middle, actually, on my ranking, but it's certainly a very... Well, actually, it's a 11-story ranking. But out of 11 stories, it's just above the halfway mark, but it's probably... So, yeah, so this era is quite... So this... then went back and rewatched, and then went back... But also depends on what the Christmas specials, which series that one's in, 12 or 13, probably 13. Even though it's a series 12 special, it's probably going to be included. Even though it's a series 12, never mind. So that's it from me. Thank you for watching. Actually, in that case, if it's series 12, should I include it with the series 12 ranking? Maybe I should. That one will have to be delayed. I might have to redo it. I'll catch that bit. Anyway, so that's it. And then we'll be on to the start of Series 3,